All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join us here today. We have another great and very important, very crucial topic to discuss here regarding anxiety. If you are here live, it is Tuesday, June 28th, 2022, the day we're doing this live stream. But if you're catching us on the replay down the road at any time, you didn't miss anything. This is evergreen content that will be good forever. So please watch the show the whole way through, even if you're here on the replay. Comment below in the comment section, and my lady and I will respond to you within 24 hours or less, and we will help you as best as possible. But before we get to all of that, let me first of all make sure that the notification has gone out, and it looks like it just did. And let me also check out the back end of YouTube and make sure that the back end of YouTube is rolling smoothly, and it absolutely is. So not a lot of community news, to share right now. So we're going to get right to it because my lady suggested, by the way, my lady's standing by live backstage on the StreamYard. My lady suggested this topic today. And for the most part, from here on out, she's going to be in charge of, taking care of the topics and stuff as part of her partnership in the business. And she's like 2 weeks ahead. She did 2 weeks worth of work already in one night. I just dropped her off at home yesterday, and she got to work and has already done 2 weeks worth of work. I mean, how can I not respect and appreciate that? But anyway, the topic of today's show is my lady and I talk about how to deal with anxiety in depth. One more time, my lady and I talk about how to deal with anxiety in depth. So without further ado, let's bring her on. Please welcome back my beautiful, amazing, wonderful, intelligent lady to the show. Babe, big, huge round of applause. Welcome back, babe.
Thank you.
You're in the comfort of your own home, and you're welcome.
Yeah, I'm sitting in my bed.
Yeah, I dropped you off yesterday, baby, and you got right to work. And you have filled me up, or filled us up. That doesn't sound right. You have filled us up with 2 weeks worth of topics that you sent me via text yesterday, including this topic. So thank you very much for that. We greatly appreciate you. Yeah, and we're going to get to this blog very quickly because I don't know if you've noticed, baby, or if you've checked it out. It is pretty long. It is very long.
Oh, it is very long.
So we might have to do 2 parts regarding this show. We're going to see how far we get through the blog today, because I know you and I are going to put our own spin on it. We have a lot of commentary and examples to share regarding this topic. But before we get to that, anything you want to mention at the beginning of the show regarding anything or anxiety in general? The floor is all yours, baby.
Oh, no, I really, when I read this blog, it really hit home with a lot of my own struggles with anxiety, as well as seeing how other people, these symptoms, how they can affect other people. So I just felt it was really interesting and just a good topic to share if anybody else is out there dealing with anxiety or dealing with a loved one with anxiety.
Yeah. And baby, I've talked about anxiety on my channel many times over the past several years, even stemming back to my former channel that I started 5.5 years ago that obviously no longer exists. But today we're going to go into great detail. We're going to go in depth regarding anxiety, every little aspect of it. And we're also going to share some examples. But before we get to that, baby, first of all, let me make it very clear. I am not a psychologist. I am not a doctor. These are just my opinions. and my experiences. My lady, was a nurse, and so she, can speak on this, more from an expert standpoint. But what I will say, baby, is that in my opinion, you can share what you think before we get to the blog here. I think there are two types of anxiety. Number one, there's clinical anxiety, and then there are people that have anxious moments. I think even people that are not clinically diagnosed with anxiety will go through periods of anxiety. Is that a fair statement in your professional opinion?
Absolutely. And that is something I believe this blog talks about, that there are two different forms of it.
Right. And again, just because someone has periods of anxiety or moments of anxiety does not mean that they're, clinically diagnosed with chronic anxiety. Same thing, I'm assuming, in your opinion, goes for depression. There are people that have clinical depression and constant depression. And then there are people that go through periods or moments of depression, even, if they're not clinically diagnosed. Fair statement?
Yeah. Yes, fair statement.
Okay. All right.
I want to put one other note in there really quick. I think you'll find interesting, is that the root of the word anxious is from the Latin anxus, which is a form of the ancient Greek anko, which means to choke.
Wow. Because you kind of
right?
feel like you're almost choking when you're anxious. You're having those panic attacks and you feel like you're choking. You feel like you can't breathe, right, baby?
Yes. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. And baby, here's the thing. The truth of the matter is a lot of words come from, the Greek language. I'm not just saying that because I'm Greek. When my parents told me that a lot of the root words from many other languages out there come from the Greeks, I thought my parents were just trying to inflate how great Greeks are just because we're Greek, right? But the truth of the matter is, like let's take the word teléfono, for example. Okay. In Spanish, telephone is teléfono, but it's not really a Spanish word. It's a Greek word. It derives from the Greek word teléfono, telephone, teléfono, right? So, not trying to toot my culture's horn or my own horn, but it is true. And in watching the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding, which I'm sure you've seen many times, babe, and many people have seen that by now, that movie was entirely true. Regarding how a Greek American family, lives nowadays when the parents immigrated to the U.S. from Greece and raised a family here. That was 100% true with the exception of the Windex. Do not spray Windex on everything, especially, cuts and bruises and stuff, because that will probably sting and infect you. The Windex does not work. That was hogwash. Are you there, baby?
Yeah, it was funny though, because I bet most of the people who watched that movie ran with that.
They probably did.
Okay, Windex clears everything up. So yeah, it's funny.
And that movie, baby, when it first came out, was a limited release. And meaning that it only got released to certain theaters across the country. And when it reached such great popularity with great reviews, it became a smash national hit. So, it's still a great movie to watch to this day. You want to learn a lot more about, how I grew up with my family. That family is exactly like how my father was, God rest his soul, and how my mother still currently is. She's still around. But anyway, let's get to the let's get to the blog here, baby, because we've got a lot to go through here today. So we're going to switch on over to the browser source, and you'll be able to see it nice and clearly. You have it up on your TV, baby, already?
Of course.
Oh, but real quick, while we wait for the delay to catch up on your TV so you can read along with me here, we've got a few people in the chat already. We have Deanne, Old Dirty Ninja's back. He's like, Hope smash the like thumbs up. Thank you so much for that. ODN, how are you doing today, brother? 7777 is back, dropping a like, thumbs up. Thank you, 7777. Welcome back to the show. And 7777 furthermore says, diazepam does it for me, baby. Do you know that drug? Diazepam. Okay, you know about that because you have clinical anxiety, baby. So you know about that, right?
Well, I know that from my nursing days.
Well, that's true too, but you also do have clinical anxiety. Is that a fair statement? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And you're going to also share more as we go along, how you manage it with medication and all that other stuff too. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ready to rock and roll, baby? Can you see it on your screen right now?
Beautiful.
Okay. So this is from the blog site futurelearn.com. And the title of the blog is, What is Anxiety and How Can You Deal with It? One more time. What is anxiety and how can you deal with it? I've got an itch today, baby, on my nose. Itch for good luck. So pardon my unprofessionalism for those of you that can see me on the screen there. You like the shirt today, baby?
I do.
It's that nice Under Armour shirt I got. It was like a $65 shirt I got for like $22. They had a massive discount on this, but I love this shirt. I wish that they had more colors at that price. I would have bought them all out. But anyway, this was published on February 18th, 2021. So it's just over a year old, very recent. And it's by Future Learn. I guess the author is not mentioning their name. In this article, we provide you with all the information you need to be aware of anxiety, notice symptoms, and find ways to improve your mental health. And that's a lot about what we do here, baby. We try to positively uplift and encourage people to better their mental health, because if your mental health isn't at a good place, it's going to affect every other aspect of your life. What are your thoughts about that?
Absolutely. And I mean, and most importantly, I mean, it affects you, but it affects all your loved ones and it pushes them away.
Wow. You must have personal experience with that, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So you're coming out here and saying that a lot of times, when you have anxious moments as part of your clinical anxiety, sometimes without even realizing it, it pushes people away because of the way you're coming off due to the anxiety.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And we'll get more into,
how we'll get more into examples of that.
Right. And how you cope with it and how, your family copes with it and other people cope with it as the show goes on. But let's continue. It's been a difficult year for many of us with many unforeseen circumstances we couldn't have possibly imagined. This happened during the height of COVID, where we were wearing masks. There's no surprise then that our anxiety levels are at an all-time high, as discovered in a study by King's College London. However, there's a difference between feeling anxious and experiencing an anxiety disorder, and we're here to clarify what it means to experience the latter. So that's what I was talking about earlier, baby, is there are people that are clinically diagnosed with constant anxiety, and then there are people that have periods or moments of anxiety. Wow.
Yes.
Fair statement?
Absolutely.
Yeah. This article will explain to you what anxiety is, the main physical and mental symptoms, the different types of anxiety disorder, the main causes and ways to cope with and treat anxiety. Whether you want to help someone close to you or improve your own mental health, we hope this article can provide some guidance. Now, I've had moments of anxiety, and I think I have moments of anxiety, on a daily basis, because I'm a YouTuber. I run a coaching business, and things are so fast paced, and there's just so much to do. And I'm always constantly thinking about my business and my YouTube channel and getting out my next piece of content. And I'm not going to lie, that does bring out periods of anxiety every day. And I myself would love to better learn how to manage that, because I think if I can even manage, my non-clinical anxiety that I get, actually not only on occasion, quite often, daily, I think it would make me more productive. Like, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, yeah. And I think this article is going to explain how to work through those feelings of anxiety when you are not clinically diagnosed.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at the chat. We've got Laura Palladore is back. Hi, Eli and Bay on late lunch break, just listening. Hi, Lewis, as in hi, High. It almost makes me, feel like that's someone trolling from the past, but we'll let him stick around. It's all good. Not a big deal. She's been around before and she said she wasn't trolling, but hi, Lewis, High. I think I know what that is, baby, but we'll continue moving
Oh,
forward. All right.
you know what I do. You know what I
Yeah,
do.
let it's all good. Let it slide. What is anxiety? You've probably heard about anxiety many times, but what does it actually mean to experience it? Well, it's a shitty feeling, I'll tell you that. Anxiety is a common mental health problem that refers to being in a persistent state of worry or displaying excessive amounts of fear. Baby, you redefine the word anxiety. No disrespect intended.
That you basically should put it should be the definition of anxiety, and it's my name.
Right, except we're not going to mention your name because
Literally.
we're not going to
No,
dox you at this point. Yeah.
no.
I'm glad,
That's why I
baby.
said it's my name.
You're getting really good at this. I'm telling you, you become like an expert YouTuber without showing your face or using your name. Anyway,
I'm a quick
every
learner. I'm a quick learner.
yes, you are a quick learner. Everyone worries about things now and again, but to suffer from anxiety means that worrying has a deliberating impact on your daily life, and that certainly happens to you. Now, for me, I do have periods or moments of anxiety. But once I'm done working for the day, baby, like after this show, I'm going to prepare and do a Walking with Purpose live stream for my other channel, my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas. And by the way, subscribe to that channel, and I bought sharing the link every 7 minutes in the chat. Once I'm done with my workday and I'm having dinner or chilling on my couch, sitting down on my couch, relaxing and catching up on some, other shows that I like to watch that aren't on YouTube. I have no feelings of anxiety. I'm so relaxed. I think anxiety only hits me when I'm running my business because of the nature of the beast, which is what I'm trying to say. How YouTube is, how cutthroat it is, how much work it is to prepare to do a show or a video, and then when you're actually doing it, it takes out a lot from you. So that's how it affects me. Do you have anything else you want to add to it, or should we just continue moving forward?
You know what? Let's move forward in this this next statement, because then I can talk more about that.
Okay, no worries. Laura says, I have panic disorder. Hi, sorry, she says. No, it was a voice talk to text. Sorry. No problem. I can understand that. Instead of saying hi, it said HIGH, like as in being high as a kite. My lady knows about that. No disrespect, baby. Anyway, let's see. Anxiety disorders are the most common mental health problem in the world, with the World Health Organization, WHO, suggesting that 1 in 13 people globally suffer from an anxiety disorder. So if you're dealing with one, know that you're absolutely not alone. Anxiety is more prevalent in women and young people, which could be for a number of reasons. While women are twice as likely to be diagnosed with anxiety than men, 7.2% of 5 to 19-year-olds experience an anxiety condition. Well, that's because people, when we're younger, we're trying to figure out life and learn, how to cope with, the chronicles of life. And I think everyone to a certain extent, whether they're clinically diagnosed with anxiety or not, will have some anxiety or some anxious moments in their younger days. But I can also understand, baby, why women would be more likely to be diagnosed with anxiety than men, because like I've said before, with no disrespect, a woman's natural biology has a lot of uncertainty in it. And that's what women have always looked up to men for, is men's, what do you call it? Certainty, right? And when a man is uncertain, it really affects a woman, because she's looking up to him for his certainty and strength to balance out her uncertainty and things that she's not as strong as the man as, right? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. What I want to say on that is that most women are going to be naturally worried about stuff, whether it's their family, their job, having a place, having stability in their life, finding a good partner.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's always constant worry. I worry every single day about my kids. I constantly have fear that something's going to happen. I won't be able to get to them to save them.
So why do you think you
And
have that constant fear as a woman? Why do you feel that women, are more prone to, having clinical or chronic anxiety compared to
they
men?
become emotionally attached more than men do. Men can they do become emotionally attached. I'm not saying that fathers don't worry about their children. They do, but it's on
Mm-hmm.
a different level.
So what you're saying, baby, is that it's much easier for men to emotionally detach from things when they have to get the job done or focus on other things that
Exactly.
are important, right? Okay,
Exactly.
go ahead. Okay.
No, you hit that on the nail. We can move on.
Hit the nail on the head. Yeah. No, that's all I've been saying. I'm not trying, I've never been critical to women. All I've said is that, look, we are equal from an equal rights standpoint, we're equal, but biologically, men and women are different, and we process our emotions differently. Both men and women have emotions. We do, but we
Yes.
process our emotions differently. And I think that is one of the main reasons why women are more prone to getting clinical anxiety. Is that a fair statement
Yeah.
before we move on?
Fair
Okay.
statement. Yeah.
Laura Palladori says, LOL, haha. True, got to have leadership qualities. NC is Queen's in the house. Hey, baby, NC is Queen is here. She says, Eli with the 2 pink hearts. Welcome to the show. Glad you could join us here today. All right. To find out more about young people suffering from mental health conditions such as anxiety, you can try our online course, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to share the link of this blog at the end of the show, and for people on the replay so they can click into it and get more information should they desire. So I'm not going to read the advertisement part there. But let's get down to symptoms of anxiety. Ooh, this is going to be good. Symptoms of anxiety will vary depending on the disorder, but most anxiety conditions will involve several or most of the symptoms detailed below. The following symptoms will be most accurate in depicting people suffering from generalized anxiety disorder, known as GAD, GAD, not God, GAD. So physical symptoms, baby, feeling lightheaded or dizzy. Baby, do me a favor. As I read through these, go ding.
Check.
If it applies to you, just go ding. Okay, right after I
Okay.
say it, we're gonna go fast. So physical symptoms: feeling lightheaded or dizzy,
Ding.
sweating or feeling hot,
Ding.
increased heart rate,
Ding.
panic attacks,
Ding.
gastrointestinal problems. We both have that.
Ding.
Rapid breathing or hyperventilation.
Ding.
Jesus Christ, man. Oh, wow. Nausea or painful stomach.
Ding.
Aches and pains in your body.
Ding.
Feeling weak and tired.
Ding.
Insomnia.
Ding.
Changes in sex drive. Oh, yeah. No, it doesn't affect you?
Nope.
Okay.
I
I
I think my sex drive is the same.
Okay. So the only one that doesn't really affect you is changes in sex drive. I think for me, I think all of those affect me when I'm having moments or periods of anxiety because I'm not clinically diagnosed with anxiety such as you are, baby. But I will even add, I think for me, it does have a change in my sex drive. And it's not even about my sex drive. It's about just feeling so exhausted. And, when I go through moments of anxiety, it is so draining. It's like working a second and third job that I've got nothing left in the tank, let alone for a beautiful, sexy woman like you. I've got nothing left in the tank for myself. And that's why there are times where, I've wanted to be intimate with you because, I mean, you're laying there in the bed and you look really good, baby. And it's
Mhm.
like, I just, I'm worn out. And I think a lot of that also has to do when you go through, uh, high levels of anxiety, such as, a few weeks back when you were dealing with the situation with your daughter, and you really, really needed a lot of my emotional support. And I wanted to be there and give that to you. When that happens, baby, with no disrespect, it sucks so much energy out of me. And I want to give you that to make you feel better that I've got nothing left in the tank at the end of the night for anything. So it's not that I don't want you or not attracted to you. That's what anxiety does. It sucks. It pretty much sucks the life out of you, during those times. Do you agree with that, baby, or am I all over the place?
No, you are no, you're not. It does suck the energy out. What I'm trying to say is changes in sex drive, it doesn't mean like I look at that more as it either heightens or decreases your sex drive. And I don't feel my sex drive has been affected. But yes, you're right. When we go through a huge anxiety panic attack, it literally sucks the life out of you. It's almost like having a seizure and you just have to sleep right after it.
You want to know what I think it is, baby, and you make perfect sense. And listen, I want to say this so people can learn and we can all learn. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I hope you understand that. Um, but I think a lot of times, not just you, but I think many women in general, um, they use sex as the ultimate validation tool. So when a lady's going through high levels of anxiety and she's got her man, right? Um, when she's having sex with her man, it's almost like she can turn off everything else temporarily just to escape that anxiety. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm not saying you
Oh
don't like
yeah.
sex with me. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, it makes total sense. Go on.
Right. And what I'm saying is I love you with all my heart, baby, and you're hot, you're sexy, and I love being close to you. But to a very intuitive man like myself, when I know you're having those high levels of anxiety and then you want to be intimate, I know, first of all, I know you're attracted to me and you want to be with me, but I also know that is almost kind of like your escape from the anxiety. And I don't want
It,
intimacy and
it's
sex.
it's like it's almost like a band-aid or something just to make you feel better, to take that
Right.
pain away.
So what I'm trying to tell you is I have so much love and respect for you. I would feel like I'm taking advantage of you sexually during those times, even if I was not tired after dealing with your periods of anxiety, throughout those times when you need more of my support. Right? I feel like you know guilty, when I know that you need something different from me at that point. It's not that I don't want to be intimate with you. I just want to sit there and hold you and tell you how much I love you and tell you how much you're worth it and tell you how much you mean to me without even having to, penetrate you. Let's put it that way, baby. I don't know how else to say it. This is Coach Eli too, Uncensored Live Streams. I mean, and it's not that, again, I understand there are times where women have so much anxiety that they want their man to penetrate them. I get that, baby. We've all been there. But
it's like a release. It releases all that tension that builds up in our body.
Right.
That causes all that anxiety.
Right. Now, let me get to the chat here because there's some interesting comments coming into the chat here. Thanks to Eli, says Laura. Laura says, I have every one of those as well to some degree. Yeah, I think everybody to some degree has moments of all of those aspects we mentioned regarding anxiety. But I think, I think what it really affects people that have chronic or clinical anxiety, because people that have moments of anxiety are able to quickly identify when they're going through those things and then just basically, get back to normal. I think it's more difficult for the people that have it, chronically or clinically. Let's see. Queen of the South says, interesting take on things. Thank you. Welcome to the show, Queen of the South. Laura says, libido. Queen of the South says, us women have interesting needs. I agree. Well, thank you for being honest. Like it's really nice to be getting some decent people in the chat, some reasonable people where we can talk about things, respectfully, whether we agree or disagree. This is what I've always looked forward to, baby. You notice that happening in the chats? We're having some really... Yeah, we're having some really good conversation.
Positive comments and feedback.
Absolutely. Lewis Fuller, welcome to the show. Lewis says it sucks living the poop out of you. Or it sucks to living poop out of you. So you have anxiety as well, right, Lewis? Queen of the South says, I'll be honest, though, a good romp in the bedroom always helps. Well, I of course. And here's the thing.
It's a big round of applause for that.
Well, okay, We'll give you a big digital round of applause. All right. Baby, you got to let me know when they just hit the button, right? But she wanted to give Queen of the South a real, authentic, non-digital round of applause, right, baby?
Yes, I wanted to let her know that was coming from me.
Right. Here's the thing, baby. Again, like I was saying, I understand, like when you're in these situations, like sex releases the tension, right? For me, I'm so in tune with myself and I love you so much that like, I just don't ever want to take advantage of you. And I feel like those moments when you feel you need sex to break through anxiety, I kind of feel like I'm taking advantage of you. And I don't want to feel that way. Right. And that's why what I'll do is I'll snuggle up with you and then, we'll calm down. And then, after that, then we just start getting to it, or we wait till the next morning and it's all good. Right. So that's just my thought about it, but I'm glad we're talking about it because you and I have experienced this, baby, and there have been some frustrating moments for you, to be honest.
Oh yeah, and this is like a head-on collision of what we've been going through.
Absolutely, and it's because we both love each other.
Yes, but I would say let's move on.
Okay, mental symptoms, baby. Ding every time you feel you have any one of these mental symptoms, okay?
Okay.
Feeling nervous, irritable, or tense. Oh, yeah.
Ding.
Low mood and depression.
Ding.
Experiencing a sense of impeding danger or fearing the worst. Oh, big ding there,
ding,
baby.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm sorry, baby. I'm not laughing at you. Baby, you kill me. Figuratively speaking, that is, baby. At least not literally yet. Constantly worrying about things. A big ding, baby. Oh, here's another big ding, baby. Needing reassurance from other people.
Ding, feeling ding, like, ding, ding.
Oh my God. Oh my God, myself in. I love women. I just, God, man, I should have become a monk, baby. Oh, baby, you're lucky you're so sexy, baby, because I love you regardless. I'm just kidding. Let's move on. Feeling like everyone is watching you.
Ding.
I always feel like somebody's watching me. I can't sing right now. My voice is hoarse. And I have no privacy. That's right. Derealization, a form of disassociation where you feel like the world isn't real or you're not connected to it, baby.
Ding.
Depersonalization, a form of disassociation where you don't feel connected to yourself, as if you're watching yourself from an outside perspective.
Ding.
My God, baby. Wow.
So, baby, I'm mental.
Oh, man.
LOL.
Oh. I'm at a loss for words. I think,
You knew I was going to ding every one of those.
And baby, with no disrespect, I'm not trying to be critical to women. Women are, emotional all day, every day. And that's why they're more prone to all of these aspects of anxiety compared to men. And men do have anxious moments, but yes, the blog author is right. Women, are more prone to getting clinical anxiety than men because of their biology. That's just the nature of the beast, right, baby?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, let's continue here. What are the main types of anxiety? There are many different anxiety disorders, but we're going to discuss 4 of the main types in this article. Other disorders related to anxiety that we won't go into as much detail about include OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, and PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, separation anxiety, and agoraphobia. I don't know what agoraphobia is. Do you know what that is, baby? Agoraphobia. Sorry, agoraphobia. Sorry, I misread
fear
that.
of going outside. I believe it's the fear of going outside, but I could be wrong.
Well, let's do this. I'm not going to put it on the screen, but we've got Google. Extreme or irrational fear of entering open or crowded spaces, of leaving one's home, or of being in places from which escape is difficult. Baby, you have agoraphobia. No doubt about it. You said it yourself. Well, baby, didn't you say you feel most comfortable at home or at my place or your place? Haven't you told me that?
I do, but I also feel comfortable. Like when we go to our concerts, I'm like happy to go and mingle with people, and I don't have the fear of being out there with people. It's just there's something else going on there. It's just I can go out and do things, but then I have to be home at a certain hour.
Well, let me ask you something, babe. With all due respect, this is generalizing, and I'm going to get shit from the ladies regarding this. But you remember back in the days, in our grammar school days, where we would say chicks are weird? Us guys weren't lying. Tell us we weren't lying. When we're saying chicks are weird, we weren't lying about that.
No, and we weren't lying about the fact you guys have cooties.
Okay, I guess we have cooties and you chicks are weird. Let's continue. Life must go on, right, baby? All right. For help and more information on these disorders, check out Mind, a UK mental health support charity. Again, I'll be sharing the link to this blog in the description section at the end of the show, so folks on the replay can check it out. So let's go through these 4 disorders, and then we'll take our first break because there's a lot more to go through on this blog, and we may have to do a part 2. We're at 38 minutes. Generalized anxiety disorder. This is the most common anxiety disorder, and GAD is often what people mean when they say they have anxiety. People with GAD feel anxious and worried most of the time, not necessarily as a result of being in a stressful situation. They often expect the worst case scenario and find it hard to control these negative feelings. This anxiety is enough to have a negative impact on their regular lives, as it causes uncontrollable worry that can make them unable to focus on what they're meant to be doing. It can also cause problems with relationships, sleeping, eating, and work. Worries do not usually relate to just one issue, but instead relate to many aspects of a person's life. I'm going to hand this one over to you, baby, because you're the expert on
That
this.
is so true. Okay. Causes problems with relationships, check. Sleeping, check. Eating, that's like 4 checks. And work.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
yeah. No, my anxiety disorder has definitely affected my ability to eat. Um, I never had a problem eating. I am a total foodie at heart. And just within the last few years, I just I can't eat food. It just I can get a little bit down for nourishment, I guess, but you've seen it. I eat probably less than a bird does, you know?
Yeah. No, and that's why, you've lost a lot of weight. I mean, you look good for your size, baby, but we're trying to fatten you up a little bit, a little more cushion
Well,
for the
I'm
pushing, right?
going to be really honest. Women don't like to talk about their weight, but I'm going to be real and I'm going to say let I went to the doctor in 2019 and I weighed 165 pounds. I went back a year later for my checkup and I was down to 135. So in 1 year, I lost 30 pounds. Then it's just been coming off. They said, well, that's great. You lost weight. They didn't want to think twice about it because they're like, oh, you must be doing something. And I'm like, I'm not eating. That's it.
Well,
And
you're burning more calories than you're taking in. So, your body is using your reserves, your fat reserves, and you're losing weight. That's what happens. Calories in, calories out,
yeah,
baby.
yeah. And so right now, this day, I'm probably about 110 pounds. I am skinnier today than I was in high school. And that's
Yeah.
just weird. I've gone from being normal to actually having an eating disorder. And it comes from the anxiety and the mental depression.
Yeah. Real quick, baby.
All right, move on, baby.
No, we're not moving on yet because this is, baby, this is very important what you're saying. I'm just going to read a few chat comments here. Queen of the South says, I'll be honest. A small disagreement is sometimes worth the makeup. Just saying, yeah, makeup sex is great. I just don't like to do it when it's being used as a crutch. If my lady is trying to use it as a crutch, like I want to correct the underlying issue and be there for her in other ways. But if we have a disagreement, just a plain old disagreement, and then we make up, then like I get turned on instantly. My member down below, my lady starts to say, "What's going on down there?" And I said, "Well, or I say, well, baby, I'm just feeling it, right?" And it's because we're communicating and we worked through the issue and we're happy again. So now we want to share each other's happiness by being closer. So yeah, makes sense there, Queen of the South. And Laura says or asks you, babe, do you keep weight on? What are your thoughts? Well, what is the answer to that, baby?
I believe I fluctuate about 5 pounds, depending upon water weight or just whatever. If I do have a couple of good days of eating, then I'll have that. But then it's almost like my body says, alrighty, you've refueled, like you put gas in the tank. Now you can go for a week without filling up again. So yes, I do. I don't. I keep weight on, but I do fluctuate in this low amount. I don't think I could possibly physically lose any more weight based on my height and bone structure.
Well,
Wouldn't you
you
agree?
could. You could, but then you would be at a very critical, unhealthy weight level, and that would put you in the hospital. Like, you're okay where you're at right now. Like, you're on the lower end of where you should be, the far lower end. But maybe if you were to get
Yes.
down to 105, 100 pounds or under 100 pounds, for your height, you're what, like 5'6"?
I'm 5'6".
You're 5'6", so you're fairly tall for a woman. For your height, baby, 130 to 135, 140, 130, 125, 130. Like, even if you just gained 10 pounds, it would make a
Yeah,
huge.
my scale just told me 108.2.
Okay, well, I'm going to feed the shit out of you this weekend with food that you're going to be able to enjoy. Well, what do you say about that? Well, I tried to, and then you get. This is, you know what, folks? This is the only woman that gets angry at me for taking her to nice dinners, and she's like, "I don't want you spending your money on me. I don't eat, and I waste food." And then, baby, God, baby, that's just what I enjoy doing. So this weekend, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna eat. We're gonna feel good. How does that sound?
I have an idea, but I'm not going to share it with you here publicly because I don't want to dox where we're going.
Of course not. Of course not. We don't want the Coach Eli groupies coming after us, right? We'll just tell people afterwards. the Coach Eli groupies. All right, let's continue, baby, because after we go through these 4, we're going to take our first break. Social anxiety is the next one. Social anxiety or social phobia is a disorder that causes an intense fear of being in social situations and performing in front of others. Even in normal situations, that wouldn't normally cause worry. Someone with social anxiety might fear being laughed at, humiliated, attacked, or judged by others. They might feel very uncomfortable being in large groups of people or being stuck with people they don't know very well. Some of the most common scenarios where social anxiety might strike include meeting new people, dating, public speaking, starting conversations, and eating in front of people. Some of these things might sound nerve-wracking, while some might not. But for someone with social anxiety, they can all feel traumatic. They can all feel traumatic. Let me explain. Let me share my thoughts real quick, baby, and then I'll turn it over to you. I think in my younger days, I had a little bit of social anxiety because I did fear meeting new people. I did fear asking women out on dates. I did fear public speaking, and now I do it for a living. Now I can't shut the fuck up. That's just the truth. I'm honest about that. Laugh, baby, laugh. Okay. Starting conversations. I not only start conversations, I can't stop. And eating in front of people, I have no problem doing that. Some of these things might sound nerve-wracking, but while some might not. But here's the thing. The way that I got over it, especially how I got over the fear of public speaking and stuff, I had to do some public speaking back in my retail management and retail corporate days. And, I made a presentation in front of the vice presidents. I was a key carrying supervisor about to get promoted to assistant store manager. And my store manager was at a regional meeting. He was supposed to bring the other assistant managers. But he had them run the store and had me come instead. I was the only key carrying supervisor, one step below assistant management, that was at that major event. It was a regional event with the regional managers. And I had to give the presentation. And I had notes. I stood up. I started reading off my notes. And after about 30 seconds, I just winged it because I knew it. I started to gain my confidence. I'm like, shit, I'm already here. I can't go anywhere. I can't run for the hills, right? If I get, what's that?
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was not muted. I was talking to the dog really quick.
Okay.
I apologize. Unprofessional.
No worries. And so I gave the presentation, and at the end of, the meeting, the VPs came up to me and were very impressed. And they said, "You have a bright future with our company, son," and blah, blah, blah. And I got promoted shortly after that. And that was the first step in getting over the fear of public speaking. Then when I started, when I became self-employed about 15 years ago, I started attending a lot of other networking events, and I had to do public speaking presentations to promote my insurance business. And, for the first year or two, it was, I still had moments of anxiety and moments of, fearing the stage and this and that, wondering if people are going to like me or if people are going to, accept me or criticize me. But after a few years, it became second nature. And I just couldn't wait to get back on the stage. And I think that one of the best ways to work through anxiety, baby, is to just push yourself through it. If you fear doing something that you enjoy doing, and you push through it and you keep moving forward, you're going to eventually work through it. What are your thoughts about that, baby? And then we're going to read some chat messages before we go to the other two.
Alrighty. Well, all I was going to say about social anxiety is I think this is one of the things that I was able to get over and I don't have a problem with now. I will go out like tonight. I'm going to my dart league. I don't care if I throw the darts and not hit the board. I don't care if anybody laughs at me, I don't feel attacked. I can communicate with people very well, new people. Public speaking, I really don't have to do, but when I was working at my last job, I did have to get on conference calls and have to speak that way. So, and I have no problem starting a conversation. The only thing is eating, but that's not really eating in front of people. It's just eating in general. So I think this is one that I'm excluded from, and I'm actually kind of happy. So, but I agree with what you were saying about your issue with social anxiety.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, baby. I'm also looking at the chat here, and Queen of the South. That's not a nice question. The spam filter caught it, so we're not going to ban you. But please don't ask questions like you just did that didn't make the chat. It was held for review. Laura Palladori says, agree, Eli. Thank you for that. Hellerks Media, welcome to the show. I don't really know who you are, but I will just mention this, and I really don't care. You have been using a lot of my content. My copyright match tool has caught several re-uploads of my content, and you are a channel that just basically reuses other people's content and talks shit about people. And I really don't care that you talk shit about me or reuse my content, and I haven't, obviously I haven't flagged you for copyright. I'm not going to. But what is your purpose of being here, sir? When you're just a channel that, re-uploads, reuses other people's content. I mean, what's the point? Anyway, just felt like putting that out there. Not a big deal. Let's continue here. We just went through social anxiety, baby. Let me scroll up here, and you'll see it scroll up in about a minute or so. Panic disorder. You've probably heard of panic attacks before, but you may not know that panic disorder is a mental health problem where you experience recurring and unexpected panic attacks. This can be extremely disruptive to everyday life, and each panic attack can be a really scary experience. A panic attack often comes out of the blue and causes symptoms such as shaking, heart palpitations, hyperventilation, and dizziness. Sufferers feel an immobilizing fear wash over them, and sometimes worry that they're going to pass out or die. To ease your worries, you cannot die of a panic attack. It is just that a high level of anxiety can make you feel like you're in danger. Some signs you might have panic disorder include worrying for a long period of time after having a panic attack that it might happen again. Worrying that a panic attack is actually a sign of a medical problem such as heart disease, and avoiding certain behaviors or activities that might trigger a panic attack. Oh, baby, let me share this with you real quick. I didn't even realize this until I came out here on YouTube. I've had a few major panic attacks over the last 2 to 3 years on this platform, and I understand why they happen. But I also learned to identify that I had panic attacks in my younger days that I didn't even know were panic attacks because I was not able to identify what a panic attack is until I went through them, on YouTube, and other people were telling me that it's a panic attack. And it does feel like you're going to die. And it does feel like, there's like you're crazy out of control. But the truth of the matter is, you're having a moment, a high level of anxiety moment. Like, what are your thoughts about panic attacks and panic disorder? How has it affected you?
Oh, yeah, no, I agree everything with, like, literally a panic attack does come out of the blue. I can be doing whatever, and then all of a sudden I'm just gasping for breath, and I just feel this overwhelming fear or whatever, you know. And yeah, it makes you feel like you're in danger, it makes you like, and then the rest of it, some signs like include worrying for a long period after that you're going to have another one. So then you're
Right.
giving yourself anxiety, which will cause another panic attack, and it's just this revolving door of craziness. It just
Right.
never gets better unless you go get help.
Right. And here's the thing for me, baby, because my panic attacks and moments of anxiety, they're not chronic, or clinical. They're not chronic, meaning that, I have not been
You
clinically
don't have to all
diagnosed.
the time.
I am able to identify when they're happening, and I can quickly work through them. I mean, every human being is going to go through moments of, you know, uh, what's really going on here. And a lot of times it's because of how other people are coming at you. Like, out here on YouTube, I dealt with so many people coming at me, and until I learned how to handle it and ignore it and move on, I was basically inviting these panic attacks and these moments of anxiety and these periods of anxiety, right? And so I think
Yeah,
when people can learn to understand, that some things in your life are out of your control. What other people say about you shouldn't really matter, right? When you learn to have self-love, that's going to practically almost, I'm not a doctor, I'm just saying this is my opinion, that will help start to cure your anxiety. Do you think, baby, learning to love yourself would be a huge impact on relieving
absolutely.
what's that?
Because absolutely, that takes fear away. When you don't love yourself, you have a constant fear of non-acceptance, abandonment, like not making it in this world, being alone. Once you love yourself, then people are allowed to love you, and then that takes all of that away.
Right, right. Yeah, baby, awesome. I couldn't have said it better myself. Those are some great examples there. And hey, look, I'm a very healthy person. I'm not clinically diagnosed with anything, but even then, I still go through things such as, people do that are clinically diagnosed. So this has been a great topic, baby. Let's go through the last one here, and then we're going to take a break and come back for another hour. And then whatever we don't finish within the hour after we come back, then we will do a part 2 tomorrow. I mean, what do you say, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Phobias. People might often make jokes about having a phobia of something, but phobias are actually a fairly common type of anxiety disorder that need to be taken seriously. When you have a phobia, which is a fear of something, you're completely terrified of it and will irrationally exaggerate any danger in your mind. Sounds a lot like you, baby, but hold that thought. Some people don't even need to be near the phobia. Sorry, some people don't need to be near the phobic stimulus, but just the thought or sight of it on a screen might cause an excessive amount of fear or even a panic attack. Boy, sounds familiar too. Often people with phobias know their fears are irrational, but this doesn't prevent the feelings of anxiety. Some of the most common phobias include uh
I don't know what
perturb
that is.
yeah,
Oh, fear
P
of flying.
PT
Stop,
petromerhanphobia.
whatever.
I mean, how the hell you pronounce that shit? Excuse, pardon my unprofessionalism. I've
It's
gotta Google this.
trauma, hanophobia. You leave the P out of it.
Google doesn't even have a pronunciation of it. Oh, screw it. Whatever that is. No disrespect.
It's
Which
fear
is a
of flying.
fear of flying, claustrophobia, which is a fear of enclosed spaces,
Oh,
and entomophobia, a fear of insects. So um, I do have a little bit of a fear of flying, and I did have a fear of enclosed spaces when I was younger. I think I still kind of have a little bit of a fear of flying and a little fear of enclosed spaces, claustrophobia. And I think even I have a little bit of a fear of some insects because, some of them are venomous and poisonous, like spiders and stuff like that. But I think that is normal amongst most people. But I get it. I get it. Some people will fear it so much to the point of where they won't go hiking. Like I fear rattlesnakes. I hate rattlesnakes, you know. But I still go hiking because I love hiking. And I will tell you, whenever I'm on a damn hiking trail, baby, I always have rattlesnakes on my mind. I'm always looking up, down, left, right. I'm looking up ahead. And yeah, the few times I've encountered them, I've been able to spot them 300-400 feet away. So that way you don't get close enough and scare the shit out of them. And then they coil up and defend themselves and try to strike at you, right? But what are your, before we take the first break here, baby, or our break, what are your thoughts about phobias? You have a lot of phobias, huh?
phobias are, I want to say, phobias are probably the root to a lot of people's anxieties. That is the root of the fear that they have. So yes, I have a fear of claustrophobia. I can give an example of the same thing like you're talking about snakes. If I am watching a television program and like it's a nature show and then they go on to a segment about snakes, I cannot watch it because I will have nightmares that there are snakes in my bedroom that night.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't blame you
Um,
for that, baby. Go ahead.
yeah, I don't have a fear of flying. But there are all other types of fears out there that people have. Fear of heights. That's one of the most common ones. And I've literally been watching programs like reality shows where people are doing a challenge for $1 million and they have to get up and bungee cord, but they're like, nope, sorry, I can't do it. My fear is stronger than the desire for that $1 million. So yeah, that
Yeah.
phobias are they're a bitch.
Yeah. No, they absolutely are. Now, real quick here, baby. I'm gonna go full screen and stay here with me. I want to answer a question that Queen of the South posed in their little off topic regarding Roe versus Wade. So let me go back to actually let me scroll up so I can have us all set for when we come back after the break. We're gonna go into what
Okay, and then
causes.
maybe and then before we go to, I'm sorry, before we go to break, I want to talk about this book and
Okay.
give the title and the author because it's a great book.
Okay. Fair enough. Um, so, excuse me a second.
Interesting.
Queen of the South says, off topic, how do you feel about Roe versus Wade? Since I'm a woman, would like your opinion. I'll be very honest with you. I'm going to ask you, are you more on the left or more on the right? Because you must be more on the left. I'm a little bit more slightly on the left. And I am pro-choice. Now, if I were to have ever gotten a woman pregnant, I would have, wanted to keep the baby because I've never been with a woman that, I don't sleep with women that I wouldn't want to have a life with. That's how I've always been. I haven't done the one night stand type of thing or anything like that. And that's just how I've lived my life. I was raised that way and I've chosen to be that way. And for me, intimacy is more emotional than physical. Of course, I love how it feels physically, but I love emotionally bonding with my partner. And that's what I love the most about the woman I'm with right now is the emotional bond. And yeah, she's hot too, but the emotional bond, baby, that keeps us
You're
together.
silly.
Let
Mm-hmm.
what do you mean I'm silly?
Keep telling me how hot I am.
Well, baby, I mean, that's how I feel. You're not paying me to say that, for Christ's sake. I mean, anyway, so my thoughts about it is it's BS. I honestly think this is what Donald J. Trump, our former president, Donald J. Trump, was trying to set up when he, set up the Supreme Court the way it is today. You're in the middle. Okay. The Supreme Court is more so filled with, in my opinion, right-wing extremists or people on the far right or people that are known as the alt-right, alternative right, the Trump supporters. A lot of these people, are from the Midwest and the South. Where they have very, very old school TradCon, traditional conservative values. And so, they're living, a life in the past. And Donald Trump is trying to cater his message to that audience because that audience, in no disrespect, they're far less educated and they're much more easily manipulated. Compared to an audience on the left. And, liberals would not put up with that crap, right? So I think it's BS. I think it was set up this way by Trump, and I think that this is just a group of conservative, old school, traditional conservative, politicians or judges, in this case, Supreme Court justices that are against progression. And while I may not like every aspect of our world that's progressed, I do believe in a lot of progression. I think progression is great to a certain extent. These people are anti-progression completely. They want to live, back in the Stone Age days or back in the pre-circa, 50s days, the June Cleaver and, Leave It to Beaver, type of days. And it's not like that. So I'm very, very disappointed at the decision of overturning Roe versus Wade. I think it was a stupid decision. Now what's happening here in California, babe, what I heard is that we're going to be able to vote on making this a part of the state constitution, allowing abortion as part of the state constitution. What's going to happen now is just because abortion is not a federal, right, each state now has the right to allow it in their state or not. And I will tell you, most liberal states, if not all of them, are going to allow it. What's going to happen is it's going to be those states in the Midwest and the South, these highly conservative, traditional conservative extremist areas are going to vote it down. And so that's going to cause more issues for women that may want, abortion rights and stuff like that. And what they're going to do is they're going to have to go to these other states and spend more money they don't have to take care of something they should have been able to take care of or have the choice to take care of in their own state. What are your thoughts about this, babe, before we go to break?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. Okay, so I'm a woman and I am mostly, I would say, falling on the left side. Um, I believe every woman should have a choice, but I believe there should be regulations I
Men should have a
believe.
choice too. Men should also be a part of the process. But go ahead.
Okay, well, that's what I was gonna get to, but
Sorry, baby. Got excited. My apologies, baby. Go
yeah,
ahead. Sorry,
no,
baby.
yeah, no, I think there should be certain reasons that a woman goes in to get an abortion. There should be a checklist. Has she been raped? Okay. You know, is it a form of some other sexual abuse from a family, incestual? Okay. Is it do you have like does your doctor tell you that this child is going to be pretty much unviable um to have a life? I think that the mother should have a choice to say what she wants to do, as well as the biological father. And I believe that it should, before anything happens, like, he needs to be there. He has a choice too. He could go to the courts before that child's born and get it set in stone that he will be taking sole custody of that child if she doesn't want it. So yes, I do. I am all there for dads. You know, they are some of the best parents out there, the ones that fight. But I believe that there should be certain check boxes and regulations. What they want to get away from is people just walking in and just being like, yeah, I don't want to be pregnant. And it's a form of birth control. And they want to get away from that. Like,
Hmm.
in California, we have Planned Parenthood
Right.
and no questions asked. They want to get away from these younger people being irresponsible, just getting knocked up and then going and aborting children. And I agree with that. I
Hmm.
think that there should be a lot more involved than just walking in and saying, I want to end this pregnancy. I think that
I
there should be
agree.
like a psychologist there to talk to the woman, and you know, I don't know, somebody there as an advocate for the father. So that's my take on the Roe versus Wade overturn. I'm happy California is going to be pro. Um, and I also read something about they were going to allow people from other states to fly in, and it was going to be okay for them to get it here. And you know what? Actually, I'm actually happy about that because I do believe women have a choice.
Yeah, I'll say this, baby. No, I agree with what you're saying, and I understand where you're coming from. I think what's really sad, and maybe we'll do a show on this sometime this week or next week. I think there are a lot of people in our country here, the U.S., like I keep saying, in the Midwest and the South. Um, these are very, very old school, traditional, conservative people that are anti-progression. Like they just don't like any of the changes that have happened in the modern world. A lot of these people, a lot of the men aren't happy that women have been liberated. Obviously, they're not. They don't want women or men to have a choice when it comes to abortion. They're pro-life, not pro-choice. And I'm not saying that I want to kill life or anything. No, but I think
Oh,
people
I'm
should.
pro-life. Yeah, I'm
Huh?
pro-life, but I'm also pro-choice.
Well, no, you're one or the other. You can't be. But what basically
Nope,
what you're saying, what you're saying, baby, is for yourself. You would
I'm
not abort a
pro-life for
baby,
myself.
but you're
I would never.
pro-choice. In general, you're pro-choice. And what I'm
Yes, but
saying,
my personal belief, I would never do it.
I understand that, and many liberals feel the same way. The point that I'm trying to make and you're trying to make is just because we would never kill a baby if we got someone pregnant or if you got pregnant. Well, back in the days. It can't happen now, baby, obviously. But you still believe that every individual, every human being has the right to choose for themselves. This is more about it's more about having a choice, regardless of how you personally would handle it yourself.
Yes.
I get where you're coming from, right?
Yeah.
And to these
my own beliefs on the rest of the world,
right? And to these right, but to these conservatives out there, these traditional conservatives in the Midwest and the South, okay, those very old school people. You guys all complain, and you guys and gals all complain about freedom of speech, having freedom of everything. Yet when it comes to abortion, you want to control that. You want to not have the freedom for that. That doesn't make any sense. This is what I don't understand about some of these conservative extremists, alt-right people from the Midwest and the South, and a lot of it has to do with these people being very uneducated, not being raised, right, coming from broken households, being raised in poverty. There are a lot of things that these people go through. And a lot of times, I hate to say it, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm saying a lot of times these people are just speaking out of their ass, because no one really cares to listen to what they have to say. So they have to speak out of their ass to get any attention. And that's what I think is happening. But we're going to leave it at that. Baby, I'm going to put you backstage. We're going to take a 8 or 9 minute break, and then we'll get back to it for another hour. Okay, baby? And then we'll finish it up probably tomorrow, because we're not
I will plug the book when we come back before we start.
We'll lead into the second half of the show by you plugging the book. Sounds good. Sounds good, baby, which I'm trying to say. All right, babe, yes. Putting you backstage. All right. Music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for an 8 or 9 minute break. And when we get back, we'll get right back to it. Right back to it. Give me a second here. What is going on? Give me a second here. All right, here we go. So stick around. Round. We'll be right back. right, we're back. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Yeah. Get yourself in a nice deep trance there and feel relaxed. Be in a relaxed and peaceful state. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Gotta play some feel-good music, right? From the wonderful, amazing YouTube audio library. Safe and free from copyright strikes and demonetization once this channel gets monetized soon. Yeah. At Queen of the South, I'll explain to you what I think is going on with Nightbot in a second. Stick around for that. My apologies for that. But yeah, for now, let's just get right back to it. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube, live on Coach Eli 2, The Deuce, Coach Eli 2 Uncensored live streams, the future home of most, if not all, of my live streams. This channel is getting closer and closer to being monetized each and every day. We're nearing 3,000 watch hours, and once we get to 4,000, we'll get monetized. And when that does happen, I will be moving my Walking with Purpose live streams happening on my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, over to this channel. And then on my main channel, I will be focusing primarily, my lady and I will be focusing primarily on creating some very high quality, bite-sized, pre-recorded content in the highest quality, primarily in 4K at 60 frames per second. We're also going to be creating some more YouTube shorts and even some exclusive members-only content. In addition, when the live streams all move to this channel here, once it gets monetized, I may create some members-only packages here, and one of them may include members-only chats. I may turn the live streams into members-only chats, and if I do that, it will be very affordable. It'll be at like $1.99 or $2.99 per month. And if I put out more members-only content on this channel, other content, then there will be some higher tiered packaging. But that's what's coming soon to this channel. If you haven't subscribed to my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, please do so. Nightbot's been sharing the link every 7 minutes, or just go to youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. And one more thing before we get back to it. Since this channel isn't monetized yet, if you would like to make a donation in any amount based on the value you feel you are receiving, you can do so in one of two ways. Nightbot's sharing my PayPal and Cash App links every 7 minutes as well. On PayPal, you can go to paypal.me/Coach Eli. And on Cash App, you can go to $The Real Coach Eli. And as always, donations are greatly appreciated, but they are not required. All right. Today we've been discussing, my lady and I talk about how to deal with anxiety in depth. One more time. My lady and I talk about how to deal with anxiety in depth. She just popped right back into the StreamYard. I heard that bloop. So let's just go ahead and bring her back on. Boop, boop. Babe, welcome back.
Boop, boop. Thank you.
Feel good? All right. You feel good, baby? You feel good
fantastic.
and ready to rock the second half of the show. We're probably going to go into a part two on this. Probably going to go into a part two on this tomorrow, but let's see how far we get here. Real quick, Queen of the South says, for some reason, Nightbot keeps blocking me. Well, Nightbot keeps timing you out. I will make you aware that I do have a pretty large block words list, and I have Nightbot set to auto-moderate, the chat. I've been trolled pretty heavily between both of my channels, and I am trying to keep it as clean as possible. My suggestion to you, Queen of the South, and anyone else, just think twice before you say something. Try to present whatever you want to say in the most respectful, professional, and mature ways possible. I'm not saying you're not doing that, Queen, but Queen of the South, that is. But you are probably using some words that Nightbot doesn't like. So anyway, but yeah, if that keeps happening, Nightbot will be timing you out for 300 seconds for here from here on out, which is what I'm trying to say, which is 5 minutes. Then you can just come back at that time. But anyway, and I've turned off. You can actually turn on Nightbot to put a public reason why you're being blocked. But I turned that off because Nightbot will flood the chat if you leave it on, and I just don't want Nightbot flooding the chat. So anyway, that is that. All right, babe. Ready to get right back to it? Let's get back to the block screen here.
Can I talk about the book really quick?
Yes, you can. Go right ahead.
All righty. So I just want to put this out there for anybody that is looking for more help other than this blog. I purchased this book on Amazon, not very expensive, and it's called Unfuck Your Brain: Using Science to Get Over Anxiety, Depression, Anger, Freakouts, and Triggers. It has a lot of good information in there. It's by Faith G. Harper. She's a PhD, an LPC-S, which I have no idea what that is, ACS and ACN.
She is some highly credible, or she has a
Doctor.
lot of designations with her doctorate regarding psychology. But go ahead.
Yes, but no, this book has really helped me. You don't have to read it from front to back. It has specific chapters on the different things that are here. So when I want to read about anxiety, I just flip right to that chapter. When I want to read about anger, boom, there's where it is. And it gives you all the tips and everything on how to deal with it. And it's just a really great book. So anybody that's looking for something to help you with anxiety, panic attacks, anything like that, look on Amazon for Unfuck Your Brain.
That's a great title for the book. A very modern title, right? Unfuck Your Brain. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well said, baby. Well said. And baby, what I will do is, if you can, not right now, at the end of the show, if you can text me a link to that, I will share it in the description. And what I'm going to start doing, baby, is, I've been an Amazon associate for many, many years. We'll get a little kickback if people use our link. It's not a whole lot, but I'm going to start sharing some Amazon affiliate links in the description of these books or other things that we recommend our audience. We recommend that would be good for our audience.
Yeah, you'll get it after the show, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, baby. All right, let's get back to it here. So we left off at the point where we're going to be discussing what causes anxiety. So let's check it out. There's not one obvious cause of anxiety. Rather, it is usually caused by a mixture of different things related to your personality, upbringing, and life circumstances. Below, we go into more detail about the potential causes of anxiety disorders. And I've always said, every aspect of your life is affected by primarily your upbringing. I think everyone's upbringing plays one of the biggest roles in how they turn out. Baby, what are your thoughts about that? I mean, wouldn't that make sense?
Absolutely. But I do believe that there are some children that are out there that recognize bad behavior and then they grow up to be wonderful adults because they realize their parents were just assholes. But yeah, no, your upbringing is a very big part of this.
Right. And they also say life circumstances. People go through divorce, they go through breakups, and they go through losing jobs and stuff like that. You've been through all that. That can also add on to the stress and anxiety and other things like that. But let's get into it and hone in on these causes here. The first one is genetics. That sounds very interesting. Evidence has shown that if a close relative has an anxiety disorder, you're more likely to suffer from one too. This fact could be the result of a mixture of nature and nurture, but there is some evidence that genetics might play a part. A 2015 study about twins found that having the RBFOX1 gene may increase the chances of someone developing GAD, which is general anxiety disorder. A separate study from 2016 showed that the presence of specific genes could be linked to GAD, social anxiety disorder, and panic disorder. On the topic of biological causes of anxiety, our brain chemistry also plays a part and is linked to our genetics. Many scientists believe that anxiety is partly caused by an imbalance of neurotransmitters in the brain, such as serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine. What's that?
Norepinephrine.
Okay, you can pronounce that because you've had the experience as a nurse in the past. And GABA. Reduced levels of serotonin have been linked to anxiety and depression, as this neurotransmitter heavily affects mood. Low amounts of dopamine can have a similar effect on anxiety, as dopamine influences the amount of energy a person has, though too much dopamine can also create feelings of paranoia. How do you pronounce it again, baby?
Norepinephrine.
Norepinephrine. Okay, norepinephrine.
Yes.
Norepinephrine imbalances can cause a problem because this chemical is released during the fight or flight response. Boy, you're an expert at that, baby. When the body responds to stress, finally, gamma aminobutyric acid, and which is GABA, stops the brain from getting overstimulated and calms down the nervous system. Evidence from a 2003 study shows that low amounts of GABA can induce anxiety. Well, baby, let's talk about whatever you want to talk about regarding this section here, but specifically the fight or flight response. Baby, you're an expert at that.
Huge thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yes. This is a huge thing about chemical imbalances in our bodies, which is what causes these reactions. So when you have a norepinephrine imbalance, it's going to exacerbate how you're feeling. Mm-hmm. Same with serotonin. Same with the dopamine. Serotonin, dopamine, those are like your, like, get up and do your day or go night, you know? And when your neurotransmitters are off, just think of it this way. It's like in the computer, you know, when things are not linking up together and sparking the right way, or in a car, you know, mm-hmm. Then you get no reaction and it gets overloaded and burnt out.
Right.
So when your positive and your negative is not lined up the right way, you burn out that function. And that's what happens. But hey, can I address the chat really quick?
Absolutely.
So Queen, I'm going to comment on your comment. I probably shouldn't do it, but I use alcohol to deal with my problems sometimes. Same. Absolutely. I hear it. It's not the right thing to do. I'm trying to work through it, but I hear you, and it is a struggle. It is a struggle. The alcohol does numb the pain and shuts the world off. So I hear you there, girl.
I was gonna comment about that too, baby, if you don't mind, before we get back to it here. You know, when I was in I've never been an alcoholic. And I'm not trying to call you an alcoholic, queen of the South, but my baby, you know, my lady, my baby, I call her my baby, babe. You know, she's come out here publicly and stated she does have an issue with alcohol. She does consider herself to be an alcoholic, and she's been working through it, and she's gotten a lot better. She does fluctuate back and forth. But when I was younger, I would turn to alcohol in my 20s at times, especially my early to mid 20s, to numb the pain of going through breakups and, other things that didn't go my way. And I will tell you what turned it around for me. Now, don't get me wrong. Every now and then I will have a social drink. I'm not against drinking at all, but I'm for drinking within moderation, and not drinking to get drunk and numb the pain, drinking every now and then socially to relax, to, chill out a bit, and also do it responsibly. Like, I will never ever drink at a restaurant and then drive to a hotel room or back home, even if I've only had one drink and wait around an hour, which, from a blood alcohol level, I would be under the legal limit. I just don't put myself in that position. I don't take any chances regarding that. I will do it in a safe place, hotel room, or, at my place. And then, I can just crawl in the bed with my lady, or if it's by myself, crawl in the bed and just, sleep it off. So, yeah, and that's something, babe. And you and I don't know if one of the links you found for us to do, regarding our future topics involves alcohol, but I think we need to do a topic specifically on alcoholism and how it affects people and how to work through it and overcome it. Have you found any articles
Absolutely.
regarding that? Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll have to go back and look at what I sent you.
Okay. If not, there's your project for the day, baby. See how important you are? You're instrumental to the business, baby. I'm telling you, I need help. I need your help, baby. Anyway.
This next segment is so on point. I have so much to say, but go ahead and read it.
Okay. Anyway, childhood experiences and trauma. As with most mental health problems, negative childhood experiences or past trauma can cause anxiety disorders. In some instances, this might be a singular incident like the death of a loved one, an assault, or witnessing something traumatic. Alternatively, anxiety can be caused by repeated negative experiences such as physical or emotional abuse or bullying. Anxiety, in these instances, is often a result of your brain and body forming coping strategies to deal with traumatic events in the past. Especially when there has been a pattern of negative experiences, the brain can begin to anticipate something bad happening. This anticipation can result in persistent fear and anxiety. It is worth noting that you don't need to have experienced something really bad in order to have anxiety. Many people with anxiety can't trace it back to past events, so you shouldn't feel like you're exaggerating your feelings if you can't either. Baby, this is something that has affected you. I'm going to turn it over to you in a second, but, let's see. It's a result of your brain and body forming coping strategies to deal with traumatic events in the past. That's what you do. You are so intuitive, baby. I mean, you are the most intuitive woman, besides my mother, that I've ever encountered in my life. Yeah, and when you pick up on the slightest thing that's off, you go into this panic mode, this anxiety, this anxious mode, this depressed mode. You go into that fight or flight state, and I see it in your eyes. No disrespect, you're like a deer in headlights, and I'm like, oh boy, my lady's having one of these moments. This is going to be an hour or two of working through this before we can go on with our day. And I try to prevent these situations from happening, baby, because I want to enjoy so much happiness with you. Does that make sense? Like, share your thoughts on what I just said there.
And yeah, same. I want to do the same with you. But unfortunately, I have had a lot of trauma. And a lot of it has to do with my past relationships with men. And that's usually what triggers me with you. I know you're not doing the same thing as them, but in the back of my mind, I'm still hearing that. Even though you're in front of me, and I put my guard up. I put the wall up. I try to defend myself. I get triggered and anxious and want to run away, right?
Hmm.
Literally want to run away.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So yeah, that's this is spot on.
it is.
I just I can't even I couldn't say it any better myself. I mean, it goes back to childhood also, the abuse, um, whether it was in school, whether you were not accepted, you were the last kid picked on the dodgeball team or whatever,
Right.
um, or to your childhood with your family. Maybe you were a middle child and kind of ignored, and didn't feel heard. That's a trigger. So yeah, all of these are triggers that can cause this with
Right. And baby,
somebody
go
who's
ahead.
experiencing mental health issues also.
Right. And baby, Queen of the South just stated in the chat, I congratulate you, Mrs. Eli. That's great. To taking ownership and dealing with your problems. And I congratulate you too, babe. I've just patted you on the back so many times. I know you're not looking for that, but I'm really impressed at how far along you've come since we've, been dating, and you've been following my content. And it also got you to realize that your true purpose in life is similar to mine. That's why we get along. We love helping people. And you and I,
Yeah,
um, you know, um, are very good at understanding people's emotions, feelings, wants, and needs. And in addition, you were a nurse for quite some time in the past, and you have experience in dealing with this stuff hands on in the real world. Um, so I'm very, very impressed by that. Now, here's the thing before we get on to the next part here. Um, when you and I are in those situations and we're just hanging out, having a good time, and I say something, um, or you overly analyze my expression, and then you react to it thinking that something's wrong when there's nothing wrong. And I see you get that deer in headlights face, the panic face, the fight or flight, face, right? I know
yeah,
that face. And I'm now starting to understand that more, and I'm doing whatever I can to prevent that from happening. Um, but I
yeah,
also think that talking about it, especially even talking about it live on the air, um, I honestly feel that talking about it here is therapeutic to you to understand that, hey, it's normal of what you're going through. Um,
yeah,
and and you also understand where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to attack you or say there's something wrong, or I'm not leaving you or anything like that. You're beginning to more so realize that it's no disrespect, baby. It's sometimes it's all in your head, and that's based on past trauma, right? Why don't you share your thoughts about that before we move on to the next part?
yeah. First, I want to say I think you're also understanding that when we talk about things like this and we're doing it for our business, it is therapeutic and helpful for me, but doing it at home all night long is not. So thank you for that. The other thing
Uh
I
huh.
wanted to say is on Queen's comment about dealing with my problems. Well, I don't want to be in a state of denial. Denial to me is like quicksand. You're just going to keep on falling down. You've got to own your shit, take responsibility, because if you don't, then you cannot get help for yourself. You can't love yourself until you own your own shit.
Right. I could not have said it better myself, baby. Zara's Conscious is back today. Welcome back to the show, Zara. She says co-host on point as usual. She's great.
Thank
Well, thank you
you.
for that. Yeah. All right, baby, let's continue here. Current life situation. Anxiety can also be caused by the stresses of daily life. These factors may not appear to be stress inducing, but can easily impact mental health. Things in your current life situation that can cause anxiety include money worries. That's happened, baby. Relationship problems. That's happened. Work stress. That's happened. Caring for a loved one or being made redundant. Currently, a global pandemic is occurring. This was written a little over a year ago at the height of the pandemic. And the stress of COVID-19 has caused a massive increase in anxiety, particularly among young people. To help children and young people who are experiencing anxiety right now, check out our course on anxiety in children. I'll share the link again to this so you can actually
But
look at
oh
all
yeah,
these links at
I
the end of the
could not
show. It'll be in the
imagine,
description.
baby, I could not imagine raising young children during that pandemic and having to tell them that you cannot go outside, you cannot go to school, you cannot go visit your friends. You have to stay in here and do school on a computer now. I can't imagine what these poor parents went through and the
Right,
struggles that these children went through to adapt to this new world.
right.
So I give every parent out there a big fucking thumbs up because I don't know how I would have handled it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was an interesting period of time and it's still kind of lingering, but I think we have pretty close to 70% of people fully vaccinated here in the US. And I think we've pretty much almost, if not have reached herd immunity. So it's a big difference, now compared to a year and a half ago. I'll tell you, baby, that was a crazy, crazy time. But
Oh yeah.
let's uh,
All right.
let's continue here. Another common cause of mental health problems, such as anxiety, is physical illness or injury. The stress of dealing with a physical illness can really take its toll, especially when you consider pain, financial toll, and increased difficulty of doing everyday things. To find out more about this, there are some links there, and we can, like I said, I'm going to be sharing the link to this blog in the description. Once the live show ends, it'll be available in the description section on the replay. Yeah, anything else you want to add to that, baby, before we get to the next one? It's a
So that
big one.
it's absolutely true. With me in general, with my weight loss and all that, it was confusing. I didn't know what was going on with me. And so that caused a lot of stress. And it made me scared to go and figure it out because I thought I was going to get a death sentence. And then, as far as financial toll and increased difficulty to do everything, yes, that's what I felt every day, especially when my ex and I broke up and I was basically my own bread and butter.
Right,
That stress of
right.
that financial toll and keeping that job, oh my God. Yeah, that just blew my stress out of the water.
I totally understand. Totally understand. And we'll do a show um, down the road, to the extent of, do women really want to live an independent life, or do they really want and need a man in their life? What really makes women happy? And I think that would be a great topic. But let's continue here, baby. We're going to be able to get through this entire show. We don't have a whole lot more to go. I got to say, I'm really
Yeah.
proud of you, babe. You've
Oh,
become a lot
thank
more
you.
confident. You're speaking a lot faster, and you make perfect sense. And I'm at a loss for words. I'm really proud of you. I am.
Thank you,
I'm
baby.
I'm I'm super proud of you. Let's continue before I lose my shit on the air, okay?
Okay.
Anyway, drugs, alcohol, and medication. This is, you've dealt with this hands
Mm.
on, and I'm proud of you. Let's go
Oh,
through this. Sometimes anxiety can be triggered or caused by a certain drug or too much alcohol. Wow. And so there is sometimes a link between addiction or alcoholism and anxiety. Additionally, some
mm.
medications for physical Yes, we'll get to you in a second, babe. Trust me. I'll give you all the time in the world to respond to this one, baby. And so there is sometimes a link between addiction or alcoholism and anxiety. Additionally, some medications for physical or mental diseases might have side effects, including anxiety. Below, we've listed some of these medications. Medicine for Parkinson's disease, medications with caffeine, corticosteroids,
Corticosteroids,
sorry,
corticosteroids.
seizure drugs, thyroid medicine, ADHD, that's attention deficit, ADHD drugs, asthma medication. Oh, baby, you've got a lot of these. Like, okay, baby, I'm turning it over to you.
And the seizure. I only have 2 of those.
Which ones do you have, baby?
The seizure drug and the asthma medication.
Okay. Well, that's probably what.
Well,
I don't
have Parkinson's, so obviously.
You don't have you're not Michael J. Fox, baby. No disrespect to Michael J. Fox.
No, but I'm not taking medication for it. I don't take any medications with caffeine. And I think you would also see when I drink too much coffee or our energy drinks, that's when I get a little bit more jittery and crazy. I don't have corticosteroids, no thyroid medication, and I'm not ADHD.
Okay, real quick, baby. Let me read what Zara wrote in the chat. Alcohol helps me deal with my anxiety, self-medicating. And here, I'm seeing a pattern here, babe. And now, baby, I think it's been more of a blessing having you come out here on YouTube and actually seeing other women that are going through the exact same thing you've been going through.
Absolutely.
And that are actually respectful and not attacking you and are right there with you. And they're all trying to get the help and do the right thing. And I'm really proud of you and these other women here in the chat.
Proud of them. Yeah, they're being fantastic.
Yeah. And Zara, that's very brave of you to come out here and state that. A lot of people
as well
use alcohol. Right. A lot of people use alcohol to deal with anxiety. Now, it's more so women using alcohol for anxiety because, like the blog mentioned, there are more women that are clinically diagnosed with anxiety than men because of the way women are biologically, the way they respond to things emotionally different than men do. And women are emotional all day, every day. Ladies respond to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment. And what guys don't understand, babe, here's the thing. I keep saying this. I've heard it from many other coaches and I've learned it myself. Okay. What guys need to understand about women is that the most important thing is how a woman feels. The most important thing to a woman is how she fucking feels at any given moment, in the present moment. It is about how she feels. Nothing else matters, baby. Please, don't let me speak for you. But that's why I understand you. Go ahead.
I say church to that. Yes. Take me to church because I believe in that.
Okay. Believe in what?
Yes, you have to react to like your woman's feelings. You have to listen to what she feels. When she's expressing herself, listen to her feelings. Because you cannot crack that egg unless you listen to what she's saying.
Right. What I was saying, baby, is that the thing that matters to you and any normal woman is how you feel. Nothing else matters until your feelings, your current present feelings are satisfied all the damn time. That's just the way you're biologically hardwired. Go ahead.
And you and I have had this discussion several times where I get very frustrated and I'm like, just shut up and let me tell you how I feel. Don't tell me how I feel. So yes, you're absolutely right. Women need to just be heard.
and understood.
And understood.
You know,
And
I'll
just
have to say,
and
go ahead.
accepted for who they are. And just
Right, baby.
accepted.
Right, baby. And here's the thing. I have to mention a famous Coach Corey Wayne line once again. You know, and it's funny, but it makes sense. When a woman feels heard and understood, the legs open. When a woman when a woman doesn't feel heard and understood, the legs close. I mean, come on, baby. Tell me that's not right.
Truth. Yeah. That's
Is that a truth
absolute
bomb?
truth.
Baby, should I bring back the
Truth
truth
bomb.
bombs? Truth bombs. Say it one more time, baby.
Truth bomb.
You know what? We are bringing back the truth bombs effective immediately. I love it. I love it. Baby, maybe I should also bring back maybe I should also bring back the morning rooster.
You gonna bring back the cock?
I'll bring back the cock, right?
Yeah.
Zara's Conscious says, yes, validation. Absolutely. It's normal for women to seek validation of a man. It is not normal for men to seek the validation of a woman. It'll annoy a woman. A woman won't be able to trust his masculine core. It's a very beta thing for a man to seek the validation of a woman, but very, very normal for women to seek the validation of a man. Queen of the South says, I really get disgusted with myself when I get intoxicated before noon over my feelings. Well, you're a woman. I mean, what do you expect? Go ahead, babe.
Honey. I understand that. I have gone through that feeling as well. But don't beat yourself up. Just tomorrow or the next day you feel like you're going to do that, just go for a walk. Get out of the house and try to redirect that feeling. That's all I have to say. But I feel your pain. I've been there time and time again. There is no judgment on my side over here.
Okay. All right. Let's continue here, baby. How do I cope with anxiety? Below, we've listed some tactics you can use to help cope with symptoms of anxiety. These methods can't replace professional help, but might offer a sense of calm to you when you need it. First one is breathing and mindfulness exercises. There are plenty of techniques you can use to calm yourself down, and we have several mindfulness courses that will teach you some of the best methods. Again, I'll be sharing the link to this blog at the end of the live show. It'll be available on the replay in the description. Distracting yourself with friends, family, or hobbies. Sometimes we just need to be around people who love us or spend time on hobbies that distract us from feelings of negativity. Using self-care strategies. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, baby. When you want to jump in, let me know.
You know what? I'm going to ding on the ones I totally agree with. So ding on that second one.
Okay. Using self-care strategies. Some of our favorites include running a bath, lighting candles, listening to calming music, and meditating. That's you. Ding, 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 ding. Right. Or maybe something like this.
Like the gong show.
Oh, I need to get that gong. Sound bite, baby. I got to go find that. You gave me a good idea. I'll find that soon and add it to the soundboard. Exercising. It may be the last thing on your mind, but exercising releases endorphins. I keep saying that over and over again, and reduces tension. Find out more about the healing benefits, and they have a link there. I don't have to get into that. This is my absolute most favorite thing of the day, is going out there and taking my walks. And what do? I incorporate it into a piece of content live on the air. I have you folks walk alongside me or walk with me. Okay. I get at least 3.5 miles of walking each day, and it feels good. Those endorphins kick in. My muscles loosen up. There's less tension. when I don't do those walks, it makes a world of difference. You know, baby, how I am to be around when I get those walks
Oh,
in
yeah.
compared to when I don't. You talk about that, baby. Talk about that.
Well, even my mom is saying she goes on walks every morning. And when she doesn't get to do it, she gets depressed. Like you get addicted to that.
Yep.
It is very like addicting and it just fuels your endorphins. Um, but what was I gonna say about that? That's what I was trying to tell Queen is that, get out in the morning and go do a small walk around the block and just release all of that tension so you don't feel the need to pick up a bottle or a can or whatever you drink.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I going to say, baby?
And that
I
doesn't
wish
mean
they.
walking to that hey, that doesn't mean walking to the liquor store to get your beer or your vice of choice and walking home.
Well,
That means
well, baby,
nothing.
baby, baby. If you're going to dish out that advice, you're going to have to live by it too, baby. I'm just saying. You
Absolutely.
know what's that?
I would say I'm just that I'm living from my own experiences. So I'm giving advice.
Okay.
I'm saying you can't justify the two. You have to just, oh, do not laugh at me. I
I'm not
love
laughing
you.
at you. I love you,
I love
baby.
you.
I
Let's
love you
go
too,
on.
baby. Okay. I don't want to trigger my woman live on the air. That's the
No,
last thing I want to
you're
do.
not triggering me. You're not
Uh,
triggering me. I'm
baby,
happy.
you know what? And I got to look into this. I don't think there is such a thing, but if they made some endorphin supplement or something, I would be all over that. I just love the feeling of endorphins kicking in. I got to check in to see if there's some type of endorphin, supplement that kicks in your endorphins in the high gear all day, every day. Because I'd be
All right,
addicted to
be
that.
careful.
Huh?
Just be careful. Make sure it's legal because most of those are like steroids.
Yeah, I would never do steroids, baby, unless it was for a medical condition that's legal by a doctor, not for sports performance enhancement, but just, because I would need it to survive. Like, so I get it.
Yes.
Real quick
All right.
here. Zara
Yeah.
says, plus you're getting out in the fresh air and sunshine. Vitamin D helps with depression. Yeah, vitamin D is
Yes.
important, and I also take 5,000 IU extra strength vitamin D3, and then I use K2 um, with MK7, which helps distribute the vitamin D, in the proper areas of your system and your body. But I get enough vitamin D being out there almost every day. But I do take a supplement as well because you cannot overdose on vitamin D, and that's one of the most important vitamins. A lot of people say, oh, vitamin C and all that, right? Vitamin B and vitamin C, especially, right? And you get that from OJ and stuff, right? Vitamin D is very, very critical. They do make it, it's called Xanax. Oh, it's Xanax. Okay. That's what it is. I'll have to look into that. Queen of the South says, I guess today is the day of honesty. Part of my drinking problem is I like having sex intoxicated.
Who doesn't?
I don't.
Who doesn't? I
I
mean, it's
don't.
a little bit more intense. You get a little bit more freaky. I get that. Your inhibitions are kind of like put to the side. So yeah, I understand where she's coming from.
I don't like having sex with a drunk woman. I don't. I just don't. And that's something you need to learn about me, baby. It's not that I'm not attracted to you or don't love you. I do. I just would rather make love to my woman, have sex, however you want to call it, when she's more so sober. One or two drinks, not a problem. But if you've had four drinks and shit and you're plastered and you're all overly giddy and shit, and then you want to get banged, I'm like, that's not the most attractive thing to me. You know what I'm saying? But
Well,
that's
no,
just
I
me.
understand that.
Okay.
I honestly get what you're saying, but I also understand what she is saying.
Of course. No, 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 no. I get it. And a lot of people are like that. A lot of people
Yeah.
are like that. I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying what I prefer because
Yes.
I have worked through most of my issues in life. And I'm at a place in my life right now where I just want solace and peace. And I just want to enjoy the rest of my life with a wonderful woman like yourself in a relaxed and peaceful state for the rest of our life. No more drama,
Yeah.
no more hate, no more bullshit. Let's just live life and
Live.
explore the rest of our
Yes.
explore the rest of our lives together. Let's continue here. We're almost done here. We
One
are
sec. 1 second. So I was gonna say, if you can't get out, I don't know where you live, Queen, but if you can't get out and do a walk, the best thing you can do in the morning when the sun shines, just go sit out there, have a cup of coffee, and just soak it in because that will give you those endorphins not to want to drink.
yeah. Well, that's the good points, baby. But here's the thing. Let me read a couple more comments here, and then we gotta, you know,
Yeah. So
hang on a second here. Give me just a second, baby. Let's see. Zara's conscious says inhibitions come down when you're drunk. That is true. NC's Queen says
absolutely.
NC's Queen says alcohol lessens the libido. Well, that is true for most people. Now, the funny thing is, for me, excuse me, I had to scratch my nose. I have an itch for good luck. For me, women I've dated in the past, even with my lady I'm with now, okay, like I like a little bit of wine. Like when we go away next weekend, baby, I'm getting my favorite cheap ass tutti frutti wine. You know what that is, right?
Sutter home,
Well, what type of wine is it? That's just the brand.
white zone.
White Zinfandel, White Zin. It's the cheapest wine, but I like the taste of it. And what I will do, like when I'm out of town, I'll sit there with my lady. I will have, not, you know what the funny thing is now, babe? It's not even funny. They make it so easy. They have these Sutter Home, 4-packs, little shot bottles of White Zin. It's like you take this little bottle and you just unscrew the bottle. There's no cork, right? You unscrew the top and you just chug. It's like one glass of wine in a plastic bottle in a 4-pack. So now, I'll have one or two of those. And in all honesty, what it doesn't make me drunk or anything, but it relaxes me to the point of where I get super horny. And then I go to town. So I can understand what NC's Queen is saying. Alcohol for most people does lessen their libido. For me, it increases my libido because it actually relaxes me to the point of where, I can just focus on my lady and not think about anything else.
I don't
Have
want
you?
to like sound like really bad, but if like when I was single in between my relationships, I would be at the bars and I would drinking, and that's when I would go hook up. If I was just walking down the street and
Hook
I
up?
didn't have any alcohol, oh hell no. That's when the positive Jiminy Cricket is on my shoulder. But when I put that alcohol in, that naughty one is on the other shoulder that's saying, "Go for it, girl."
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And that's when I was single.
I understand that, baby. Baby, hey, I'm not saying anything. Everyone's hooked up in the past. Just because I was never into hooking up doesn't mean most people aren't. There's nothing wrong with it. But let's move forward here because we got to start wrapping this up soon. Writing in a diary. Writing has the power to let you release emotions, discuss worries, and check whether your fears are rational or not. Sometimes it can really help to get your thoughts down on paper. And you're big on that, baby. Real quick, share your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I am. I've been advised that from several people, and it is a good method to express yourself. You don't want to go at people via text or even phone in voice because it comes off aggressive. When you write it
Right.
down, you're showing your feelings. You're being truthful and it's not harmful to the person. So it's a very good therapeutic thing. Even if they never see it, you are writing that out to them and releasing the pain from yourself into that paper. Because when you call or text, all you're doing is engaging and they're
Right.
causing more stress. You write it
Right.
down, you don't even send it to them. You write it down and you release it.
Amen. Another one here. Going to bed early. Sleep is a hugely important factor in maintaining mental health, and you can improve your own sleep on this sleep deprivation habits, solutions, and strategies teach out course by the University of Michigan. Okay. Real quick before I get your thoughts on this, baby. My father, God rest his soul, when he was around, he used to teach me in my younger days. He would say, son, in his big, thick Greek accent, son, when you go
Sean?
to bed, yes, that's what he would say, son, with his big, thick Greek accent. Son, when you go to bed, every hour you sleep, when you go to bed before midnight, every hour you sleep is worth 2 hours of sleep. When you go to bed after midnight, it's only 1 hour. So basically, well, my
Oh,
father
that's a
would,
great,
my father
that's so
was,
brilliant.
my father was the king of Proverbs. I'm going to create something called Dimitri's Proverbs or something. My middle name is Dimitri. I'm Elias Dimitri Melas. Dimitri was my father's name. My father's name was Dimitri Elias Melas because he was named after his father. His middle name was after his father. I was named after my dad's dad, who was Elias also. But anyway, I'm surprised they didn't call me Elias the second or something. But the Greeks don't do that stuff that the Americans do. Junior and the second, the third. They don't do that shit. But anyway, so yeah, that's what my father would say. What are your thoughts about that, baby? Because you go to bed before midnight usually, and then you get up
Oh,
early.
absolutely. Yeah, no, sleep is very important. Um, if you're allowed to sleep. The thing is when you have mental health, sometimes your brain doesn't shut off and you don't get
Mm-hmm.
that amount of rest, that REM sleep you need. Um, um, sorry about that. So yeah, you don't get that great sleep if you are having mental problems. So you have to pocket that somehow in order to get yourself better.
Right.
I'm sorry, I had just read Queen of the South's message. That was my mistake. But yes, my problem also started when I got divorced. I was drinking many, many bottles of wine a day and sleeping with many men and not being responsible. So, wow, like that. I'm sorry, baby, but when she said that, that literally was woof. My hand, like, literally
Yeah.
helped.
And you know what?
That's my story too.
I'm strong enough to sit here and hear that. I would rather not hear that about my own woman, but I know everybody
Yeah,
has. I know.
what?
Yeah. I know, baby. I know. I know.
It wasn't all that many, but still.
No, baby. I listen. I'm not. You don't have to explain yourself. I am secure within myself, and I love you. It's just that I have a lot of respect for you, and you can just you know I know we're sharing it for example purposes, but I
You
just have a
love
lot
my
of.
honesty. No,
I do.
you
I
really
do.
appreciate me being honest with you about everything. So
Yeah.
that's what I continue to
I mean, just like you women don't want to hear about us banging other women, we really don't want to hear about you banging other men. But this is for a live show. This is for content, so I get it. I'm just being honest with you. But let me read a
Oh
couple
yeah,
of
you
chat
don't talk
comments here.
about this in the bedroom. My God, that
No,
would
of
be
course not.
obnoxious.
Zara's Conscious says, during my heavy drinking stage, I was a frequent shopper at Adam and Eve. Well, that probably cost you a pretty penny. That's not cheap shit. Queen of the South said, you already read that about the divorce.
Yeah.
Zara furthermore says, wise man, your father, thank you for that. He really was. I learned a lot about how to be
Oh
a man from
yeah.
him. Zara furthermore says, it is about more than the sex. It is deeper than that. Sex is a Band-Aid. Well, it's a
Oh
Band-Aid. If you're making love, it's real. If you are just having sex and fucking and banging, then it is a Band-Aid. Go ahead, babe. What are your thoughts?
yes, yes. I was just gonna agree to that. All
Well
of
said.
that was just to come.
Wait, hold on.
What?
Let's give her a big round of applause before you continue. Let's give Zara a
Yeah.
big round, and same for you, Queen of the South. Big round of applause. Big round of applause. All right, go ahead, baby.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say when I was out there single right after my divorce, I had really no self-respect. I went out there and I hit it and quit it all the time.
Oh my
And
God.
but my God, well, not all the time, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Baby, I
Um,
know. Baby, let me have fun with this, all right? Baby, we're good. I'm just laughing, okay? I am
yeah,
entertained by my own woman, okay? There we go. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So at
Go
that
ahead, baby.
point, sex was the band-aid. At that point in my life, sex was the band-aid. But it's amazing how once I found the right person, that sex is not the priority as much as the emotional bond, the communication, all of that stuff. Yes, there is sex there, but our emotional bond and foundation took priority. And I
Right.
never understood what that was about until I met you.
You know, baby, I appreciate it. It took me a while to get to, this stage where I'm living my life in this way. But I've always, since I was a little kid, well, not a little kid, but since I was old enough to date and, started being intimate with my relationships or in my relationships, I have always felt the need to emotionally bond with the woman before sex would happen. And sometimes that emotional bond would just happen right away. And it would happen the first night or the second night or the third night, right? For me, it's not about doing it too soon or waiting however long. It's about when that emotional bond is felt by both sides. Because I just can't be with someone sexually unless there's some emotional connection.
Well, let's talk
That's
about this. Let's talk about the first night we met and how I was. I I was willing to go in the back of Safeway and have sex with you in your car because that
yeah,
was what I was doing. I didn't think you were going to be long term. Like I never trusted anything was going to be long term. At first, I'm like, well, why don't I just get laid and I'll give it to him too? But you were like, no. You're like, let's do this the right way. And it kind of shook me. Like it shook, and I know I sound like a goddamn millennial saying shook. But
you said it, not me, baby.
I know. But yeah, no, I was shook that night and I just couldn't stop obsessing over you at that point because I was like, this is the man I'm gonna marry. This is my end game. When you did not want to do that, I knew you were my end game.
Well, baby, it wasn't that I didn't want to be with you. I mean,
No,
you're a beautiful woman,
but
and
you respected me as a woman and wanted to get us to know each other before we got to that level. And that's where I was like, God damn.
Well, I wanted to keep getting the pussy all the time, not just one night. Let's
Ha.
be real about it. Come on, baby, come on. You know what I'm saying, right? Look,
Yeah.
when there's a real emotional bond there, I saw the intensity in your eyes. I wasn't gonna ruin it that night, and if had we been at my place or your place or somewhere else, maybe it would have happened. But I just wasn't gonna do that at a Safeway. I just wasn't gonna go to that to me was just too I don't know.
Trashy.
Too trashy for me. Yeah. But anyway, let's read the chat here
So,
real quick.
yeah, I was going to comment on that. So you go ahead and read it and I'll make my comments.
7777 is back. I've slept with many a woman in my days of depression. I can understand that. Simmer Down is back. Welcome back to the show. You must be at work. Hey, all. I guess I'm the odd one out today. I have only had a few partners. Hey, that's respectful. I mean, and nowadays, I think the average woman is going to have about, 10 to 20 partners before she settles down. And I think that the average man, and I'm definitely not the average man here. I think the average man is going to have anywhere from, 25 to 50, and in some cases, 100 partners before settling down. So, it's just the way the modern world is for most people. But then, there's you come across someone like Simmer Down or myself, where we've only been intimate with people that we have an emotional bond with, and we just never really fucked to fuck. It had to mean something. It's rare, but it's nice. Simmer Down furthermore says, when it comes to stress, I hike, lift weights, swim, and I have a Peloton for rainy days. We eat clean. I never liked alcohol, but I do love chocolate. My lady loves chocolate too. My lady loves everything. My pocketbook certainly recognizes how many things she loves. I'm just giving you shit, babe. Anyway, anything else you want to mention, babe, about the chat comments before we wrap this up here? We have a few more.
I just kind of want to go back on. So when my ex-husband left me, I was with two guys. One, and then the other guy that I wound up staying with for too long. After that guy is when I kind of got a little bit more out of my shell. My kids were older. I was able to go out and do more. And I would say there was only maybe about 4 guys in that time before I met the next boyfriend. And then after we broke up, there was only one person in between you. And he was only friends with benefits. And FWB. So it's like, I'm not,
FWB, what? That's right. FWB, I said, baby.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, literally, he has always been my friend. And we were both single at the time. And so we just fed into each other's needs. And then as soon as I started talking to you, it was over. And he respected that.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, I'm not like, I don't want to put it out there that I was out there like being a total hoe.
304.
My shit around. But yeah, no, I did go out because let's remember, I got married at 19. I'd only had one other serious boyfriend before my husband. So I really didn't get to sow my oats. You know what I'm saying?
I just put, baby, in the chat. I put, you were never a 304. we just call it 304 on YouTube.
304.
304, backward 403. We used to have that.
Let's go back to our pager days. It's our
Back in
pager
the
days.
days, the pager days. Yeah, exactly. It's for us Gen Xers. This is Gen X code. Screw this millennial shit, man. It's Gen X code. Gen X code is the original. All right, let's continue, baby. We got to get through this. Eating
Yeah.
healthy, balanced meals. The food we eat can have a huge impact on our emotional well-being. It is literally fuel for our bodies. Try a nutrition course to learn about how you can use food to improve your mental health. Avoiding alcohol, drugs, and caffeine. Each of these can have negative effects on your health and well-being, so it might be worth giving them up. Caffeine in particular may not seem bad, but it can make someone with anxiety feel very jittery. Now let's talk about this. Alcohol, neither one of us do drugs. Ganja, you like ganja. That's not really a drug. It's legalized and it's for medicinal purposes. But you and
And
I,
it comes out of the ground.
you struggle with alcohol and I struggle with caffeine. Like
Yeah.
caffeine to me is like alcohol to you. But here's the thing, caffeine to me, like baby, let me talk about this first and you can talk about your alcohol, okay? Caffeine to me, have you noticed? Like sometimes I'll even bring a Diet Coke in the bedroom. I'll drink some Diet Coke and fall asleep right away. Like caffeine, has it prevented me from sleeping or just functioning normally? Has it have you noticed any difference?
God, no, you make your coffee and do a nighttime stream. And I've tasted your damn coffee. It's strong. Forget the
Okay.
Diet Coke or the Red Bull. Your coffee is a lot more intense than that. And you'll do that at 8 o'clock at night. But I have no problem going to sleep afterwards.
Right. No problem. Not jittery. I'm cool, calm, and relaxed. Right, baby?
But what happens when I have a little bit too much? Why are you only giving me a half cup now?
Because you don't finish the
Because
damn coffee.
I don't finish it because I get jittery. Same with our
Well,
monsters, our Red Bulls. I have to drink them in moderation because that anxiety gives me it raises my heart rate and I get jittery.
plus you weigh less than you used to, so it's going to hit you quicker with a lesser amount.
Yes.
Okay, let's move forward. Taking an online anxiety course. If you want to understand anxiety on a deeper level, we have some great anxiety courses. So again, I'll be sharing the link to this blog in the description. Once the live stream ends, it'll be available on the replay in the description section. All right, and last part here. What are some anxiety treatment options here? We're not going to go through all of those because it'll take too long. You can read those. There's cognitive behavioral therapy, applied relaxation therapy, medications for anxiety, benzodiazepines or whatever they call it, tranquilizers. What's that?
Benzodiazepine.
Okay, tranquilizers, antidepressants, beta blockers. So you folks can see that once I put the link in the description here in a few. And it'll be available throughout the entire replay. Final thoughts. Hopefully, this article has helped you to understand anxiety disorders a little bit better, and we hope you feel more able to help yourself or someone else who may be having a hard time. Understanding your mental health is so important and a big part of being able to take care of yourself. If you want to keep learning about anxiety and mental health, we have a great range of psychology and mental health courses you can take. That'll all be available for you folks to check out on your own when I share the link in the description here. Baby, why don't I'm going to go back to full screen and I'm going to have you share your final thoughts. Then we'll go over the chat. So get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. Right now, we'll be going off the air in about 5 minutes. Share your final thoughts, baby. I'll share mine. We'll get to the chat and then we'll wrap it up.
All right. Fantastic. No, I think this is a great blog. It really gave us a lot of information on the signs, the symptoms, and how we can move forward. There's a lot of good information on those other sites. So if anybody is interested, please look this blog up, go to these courses, go to the other sites, because it's absolutely incredible information. Um, your self love and self help is the most appreciated thing that you can do for yourself. So that's why they call them self help books, you know? So go out there, get something, sit down in the beautiful sunlight, read some inspirational stuff on how it's going to help you deal with this. And, yes, it is stressful for your family and your loved ones, but just let them know that you're working on it. Because as long as you're working on it, they will stand by you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for that, babe. And I don't really have a whole lot more to add to it. I mean, you said a lot, baby. You said it all. I'm just going to read the chat here before we go off the air. Let's see. Simmer Down says 10 or 20. Oh my goodness, I missed out. I put LOL at Simmer Down. Yeah. Simmer Down furthermore says my parents were very strict. You were Catholic. I think you said Eastern Catholic. Yeah. No sex before marriage, huh? So you didn't get to try out the goods before you got married, Simmer Down? I mean, I would always test drive the car before. You got to test drive the vehicle. I know that's against the old school traditional TradCon ways, but it is what it is. My parents were very strict. They kept us in sports, but we couldn't even sleep over anyone's house. It was the Middle Eastern way. Oh, you're Middle Eastern. Oh, yeah. The Greek culture is very similar. But I think nowadays these cultures are more strict with women. Like with guys, they just let us go out there and just be guys. But when it comes to the women, the family, especially the father, very, very protective. Very, very protective. Simmer Down furthermore says, yeah, you like caffeine. Me too. Yeah, you're probably used to it. Because, you work, you've got your day job, your corporate executive day job. And trust me, without that caffeine or that coffee, it would be harder to wake up and keep the fire going. I get it. Lewis Fuller says caffeine is a drug, very addictive, 100%. I guess you can call it a drug. Yeah, that's a good point. Welcome back, Lewis. Simmer Down says, co-host, I grind my own beans. I am the same way. I love my coffee. Yeah, I get mine from Costco, Colombian Supremo. And 3 pounds. It used to be $14.99, but now it's gone up to $22.99 or sorry, $19.99, something like that. It's gone up $5 because of inflation, but still for $20, getting 3 pounds of Colombian Supremo, it's still a great, great deal. And I love grinding my own beans, and I grind them very finely, so that way it extracts more of the, coffee in there. Gives me some more kick. I like it very, very strong. Zara's Conscious. Sorry, Queen of the South says, I appreciate your honesty so much, Mrs. Eli. You've helped me a lot. Your thoughts on that, baby?
I want to just say thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. And anything else, you can reach out to Eli, myself here. And I'd love to help you some more. But just, reach out to Eli for that and we can get something going.
Excellent, baby. Zara says, very informative. Thank you. Thank you, co-host. Well, thank you very much. You're very welcome, Zara, baby.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Simmer Down says, thank you. I will go back and read. Awesome. And 7777, good show today. And you have yourself a fine lady, I must say. Yeah, man. When you have a good one, even when she wants to bang you in the back of a supermarket parking lot on the first date, you have a lot of respect, and you say, let's do it right the second time, second date. And baby, I'm so glad you're able to laugh about that now, and we can, laugh about it live on the air and, provide some entertainment and help people out at the same time. Excellent show today, baby. I'm really proud of you. I'm really super proud of you.
I'm proud of us.
Any final thoughts, babe? We're about to go off the air. We are at 2 hours and 40 minutes. Jesus. Wow.
No. Only final thoughts are I thank you for going over this because it is very important. It's something I struggle with and many people do, so I feel we can really help. Um, and I just want to thank everybody that was here, that was positive. There were no trolls. I'm elated by this show today. It's a very good one. So thank
Absolutely,
you all.
baby. You're welcome, baby. Baby, I'm going to shut the show now. I'll put you backstage, and I'm going to shut down my equipment and start preparing for a Walking with Purpose stream on my main channel. That will be happening in about 2 hours and 10 minutes. It is now 4:50 p.m. Eastern, 1:50 p.m. Pacific if you're here watching live. Later on today, if you're here watching live right now at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, I'll be doing a Walking with Purpose stream. It'll last about an hour and a half or so. And then I'm going to relax, take the rest of the night off. We'll talk early tonight, babe. And then I'm going to take an Epsom salt bath.
I'm so jealous.
That's all good, baby. We'll take an Epsom salt bath together next weekend. We'll do that, okay? I promise you.
There. Yeah.
All right, baby.
All right.
I'm gonna put you backstage. Talk to you later, baby. Thanks again, baby. Great show. Bye, babe.
I love you. Great show. Bye-bye.
Love you too, babe. Bye. All right. Thank you to everyone for being here. With that being said, have a great day, and we'll see you later today on the other channel if you want to watch the Walking with Purpose stream. And if not, we'll see you next time, whenever that may be. Take care, and as always, be good to each other.